What's up, snackers? Welcome back for part 2 of me attempting to do long form content, and we will see how it goes and if it's something that I enjoy doing and that you enjoy. So what is it I'm supposed to say? Like somewhere on the screen there's like, you know, things that you're supposed to do, and like push little buttons. And more than anything though, I would like some comments. Did you watch the first part? Did you enjoy it? Did you find it helpful? It usually takes me about 20 minutes to do my makeup. I'm finding it's taking a little bit longer because I'm talking as I go through this, but I'm also letting you know what materials that I use. These are both Super Stay Matte Ink, but if you notice, the one on the bottom is different. This is the newer ones that come out. I feel like the older ones have better staying power, so I use this one for my lips and I use this one for my cheeks and nose so that this one will last longer and I can have more time out of it. I get a lot of compliments on my lips, and it started as sort of a practical thing because I had a fever blister on the corner of my mouth, and so my sister recommended just doing the center, and I loved it. I was really surprised. And I don't use a stencil, I just try to make them as even as possible. Kind of blot your lip together to see where to put the bottom part so that they're roughly the same width. But it's a different effect if you make one smaller or larger. It's also fun to play around with that. And if you notice, I am really overlining. You can see, especially in the shadow here, I'm very overlining my lips. It's not far off from my natural shape, but again, this is essentially stage makeup, so having it more dramatic means it shows up further, especially because I have a very tiny mouth, just physically very small, not a lot of room. Like I don't even have as many teeth as you're supposed to have because my mouth is so small, and it really gets lost in the mix of all my colorful costuming and makeup. So oddly enough, doing it in a more compact form helps it show up better. Not sure exactly how that works. And I keep thinking I'm gonna look around and find something that is like circular instead of drawing this on every time. But coming at it sideways and just getting the paint on there and then just circling up until it's mostly a circle and mostly centered. And the cheeks, if you look at any of my videos or pictures, they're really not even at all. Like, I try, but a lot of the time people are only looking at one side of your face or the other. It's amazing how often people don't even notice that I have on different colors of eyeshadow. Even as drastic as this is, they just don't see. So start small, try to line it up. Check, check, check. I try to get it below my nose so that all the dots aren't just in a row. Sometimes they're a lot smaller than others because I get it right the first try. This was not one of those times. And I do blot it pretty quickly because once you put this matte finish extended wear lip gloss somewhere, it's there. So if you mess up and you smudge it, smudge the other side. Some of my more whimsical looks, it would turn out, are the result of me messing up. This is a loose glitter. Again, I'm living in a tent, so there's bugs sometimes. And ideally, I'm just getting it on the circle. I kind of missed that time a little bit. But the end of my finger is about the same size as the circle, and be very careful with this tub of loose glitter. It's a very high quality. And I kind of press it into the paint. I want to say this tub is Maron, but all of the stuff has come off of it over the years, and it's about a third full at this point. And kind of pressing it into the extended wear lip gloss. I do have to try really hard to get this off. And don't breathe into your glitter like I just did. I don't always put it on, depends on what I'm doing, but I really enjoy how it helps the lipstick in particular. Like, I can drink out of cups, I can eat food as long as it's not super greasy, and my lips look like this after 8 hours of working outside in the sun and the heat in 85, 90 degrees sometimes. Also in the rain, which doesn't matter as much because this is all pretty much waterproof. And then I'm going to do a setting spray and a setting powder at the end, which helps it stay in place even more. One of my favorite things to do lately is to line. This is Super Precise Eyeliner by Essence. Long-lasting, waterproof, it says. And I kind of feel insane for using this, but somebody gave it to me and it was just what I had on hand. So look how tiny this brush is. There's probably easier ways to go about this, but as of yet, I'm not really. On nights like this when the planes are flying really low, because the hill is a visual point of reference for the nearby Atlanta airport, we have to stop conversations because we can't hear each other over the plane, and it's really cloudy and it's been raining, so they're especially low tonight. So I just kind of hope and wish that this works out, and I move my face instead of the brush a lot of the time. Bam. Now we match. Because that's the hard part. Alright, 2 down. Nose and lips to go. And yes, I am left-handed. If you are wondering if things are the way they seem, they're not. I'm also imaginary. The nose I have been taking in 2 parts, and I've turned the brush over. So essentially line the left side of the nose and then line the right side of the nose. Really, I should have done the lips first because that's the harder one. And sometimes I make the line too thick and then I need to go back and thicken the lines on all the other ones so they match. Is it perfect? No! Do I care? Also no! Is it still cute? Yes! Do people notice? Not usually unless I point it out. Outsides of the lips, and then do the center. And again, I'm turning the brush to get product, like there's more on the top, and then I use it, and then I use what's on the bottom. So I'm dipping less, because that's good for my patience. And it's easier to add more than it is to take it away, because once again, this is all waterproof stuff. And in a lot of cases, once it's on, and it's too late. Okay. Oh my goodness. And it is probably about 80 degrees right now. If you can hear the fan, it's because there's a fan going, and it's blowing directly on me so that I don't just melt. But for better or for worse, I don't sweat a lot. This is more the experimental part. I'm still not sure about these eyelash things. Yeah. And then once again, like, try to get it the same. Like, I usually count how many I have. And try to keep them roughly the same thickness. Does it always work out? No. And I have also discovered, go ahead and blot them so they don't get in the wrinkles. Because remember, we're 45. That's why we use our fingers for things instead of sponges and brushes. And be careful when you're using a blot cloth like this, that you don't accidentally put something that you just blotted onto a different part of your face. Ask me how I know that one. Now, where did the sparkly yellow one, I don't know how well it's going to show up at this point. Not really at all, it turns out. That's okay. I'll just put more on. It does have some glitter in it, but it does not have a lot of glitter in it. It would probably be better by itself, and if I were not going for such a dramatic look. All right, what am I missing now? Maybe a little bit of, this is Eye Paint by Holographic. Oh no, wait, it's About Face. I picked this up in several colors last week, and I'm kind of experimenting with them. And it turns out my skin is okay with them, which is really nice, because it is not always. But I remembered that I used it under my eye before, because I forgot to do the white eyeliner first. And it's just a nice reflective thing. I like it. It's very nice. I got it in purple and like 4 other colors that of course I can't find any of them right now. I do also get the Lumiere powder in compacts. I don't like it as much. I feel like it's harder to get more of. Here's another one. Look at that. Okay. Checking, and this is e.l.f. HD powder, whatever that means. I did get some Ben Nye translucent setting powder to replace once this is out, because it looks like it's getting pretty close to being out, and I don't officially know if this is the way you're supposed to do these things or not, but it seems to be working for my reference. And considering that my makeup holds up outside in the sun and the wind and the rain for 8 hours or more at a time. In particular during Mardi Gras, I'll be in the same face for 12 or 13 hours. And it does kind of cover up the glitter, but this kind of uncovers the glitter. So I don't know if I'm actually working against myself with this or not. But when I don't do both, it doesn't last as long, and this order seems to work well for what I need out of it. Again, I'm no expert. I'm still learning. This is just, I got it at Walmart, Maybelline Lasting Fix setting spray. I've had fancier ones, and I just keep forgetting to order them, so I picked it up online. And I suppose we'll be wanting more of a close-up of the finished. Oh, I like it. Boop. Now to finish, I suppose, putting on some clothes.